morning, everybody. Good morning. Let's do that again. Good morning. Good morning. That's better. Okay. Always, we do try to start with paying reverence to the place and the people. And so we were very honored to have the chairperson of the Duwamish Alive, Cecile Hansen, to do a welcoming for you.
Thank you for inviting me to this morning. In spirit of our leader, Chief Cecile. Can you hear? Hello? Thank you for inviting me this morning. In the spirit of our leader, Chief Cecile, who is revered worldwide, and honor and respect to him, we give welcome to all of you today. Let's begin by thanking the Creator for the day. It's a clear day. We ask for inspiration, wisdom that you can only give. And if we ask for it, we know that you are in control of all things, and you bless us at this time. Guide all today in work and activities to bring positive resolution to our work. We want to thank you for your guidance. Peace flows like a river. Feel it, think it, see it, and have it. We ask for a good day, and we ask in the name of the Great Spirit, Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you. It's in the mail. One of the friends of the river, there's no doubt about that. And one of the, kind of a true champion of the neighborhoods and that type of thing around or what the port does is Commissioner Fred Felleman. And Fred Felleman is going to give you some opportunity to speak, or give him an opportunity to speak a little bit to you today. So here he is. Big hand for Mr. Fred Felleman, please.
Thank you, James. I don't know why we're hiding under here. We finally have some sunshine. Okay, so Feliz de la Tierra for all you Spanish speakers. This is Happy Earth Day, and it really is a beautiful day to be happy. And I just want to acknowledge the fact that we're here on the ancestral lands of the Duwamish people, and this is a really fantastic opportunity to be amongst you. I was involved with the Duwamish big gathering last year. I forget what the name of that is, but so this Terminal 107 Park is a very important place ecologically.
Fred, you're going to have to...
Ecologically,
Perfect.
Duwamish Park is quite the important place. One of the last natural bends in the river, but its ecological importance is underscored by its cultural as well as its archaeological importance. I'm sorry if you can't hear me that well. Anyway, so we're here to restore this place. We're going to do it as part of a community. The board is committed to doing its part. And I just want to thank the organizers again, the Duwamish River Coalition, the Duwamish Alive Coalition with Earth Corps, as well as, James Rasmussen, rock star that he is. So anyway, we're going to do our part. The port, in working with you, we've got 40 more acres at least to restore along this waterway. We're also working to reduce our air emissions, both the particulates as well as the carbon emissions. We're going to try to do that with renewables and conservation. We have a lot of work to do. We've got major, next 5 years, well, the previous 5 years we've made major reductions in emissions due to cleaner fuels that are being burned in the ships. But we're about to embark upon a new 5-year strategy for further reducing our air emissions that we're going to do and very much involved with the community. So, but a lot of this success that we've had here has a lot to do with the long-term commitment of our staff. And I just want to have a little bit of acknowledgement for the port staff, Christina and others that have been really invested in long haul here. So give it up for them. So just one example of our long-term commitment is that recent grant we just got from the EPA, one of the first environmental justice pilot projects that we're very proud to be part of. The Port Commission just recently extended the funding for that effort, and we're really looking forward to implementing some of those recommendations. So as I said, we've got this clean air strategy to move forward on, and the folks at the airport communities have been looking to us and saying, So why don't we have something like this going on at the airport? And so we're going to use this as a model for those communities, and the EPA is going to use that model for other ports around the country. So thank you for setting such a good example. So finally, one of the great importance, in addition to worrying about and supporting the ecological and economic health of our surrounding communities, one of the most important things the Commission is entrusted with is hiring our executive director. And I can't tell you how important and how proud we are to have hired our executive, Steve Metruck. I knew him back in 2008 as former captain of the Port of the Coast Guard. He's really achieved tremendous accomplishments since that time. But throughout his career, his commitment to social justice and environmental stewardship is just who he is. And I just must say, while I've spent the past 2.5 years doing my best to represent the communities around this area, I'm delighted that we have somebody like Steve who shares this commitment, that you will be delighted for the stewardship that he will show us in the future. So thanks again for paying attention, and I'm more than proud to be introducing our new Executive Director, Steve Metruck. Thank you.
Test.
So now you get a good microphone.
Let's see if that works. Does that work, everyone, or do I need to talk? Is it better without a mic or with the mic? Okay, great. Good morning, everyone. Okay. Commissioner, you can have the mic. You know, it's great to be here. It is. I appreciate the introduction, but I just want to say it is funny. You should always remember when I left. I was here about 10 years ago. When I left, Commissioner Felleman was in the audience talking to me, giving me advice of what to do. When I came back, he's now my boss. So you always got to be nice to people when you work with them. It's fantastic. Thanks for coming today and everybody turning out. I'm Steve Metruck. I'm the new executive director for the Port of Seattle. And one of the things that attracted me to the job here was the triple bottom line of the port. That means they're just not concerned about the business aspect of the port, but they're also concerned about the environment, sustainability, which the Commissioner was talking about. And that's really important for us to become the greenest port that there is in order to do that. But it's also about spreading economic prosperity. And for us as a port, we want to see it as a public organization. We're charged with that. And that means making sure that we're spreading the prosperity, not just within the work that the port does, but the people that work for us, but throughout all the communities that we impact. You know, we talked about in the sustainability being part of that. That includes sustainability has a couple aspects. One is just making sure that things are greener. You know, that we're doing the reducing greenhouse gas emissions, looking at particulates and all of that. But it's also the impact on the communities. And the Duwamish community here especially has been impacted, and it's working on correcting the things that were done in the past. That's part of the effort of that, and also preventing those in the future. But for also an important part of that is equity. You know, is how do we make sure that all that the port do has an equity aspect, that we're making sure that it spreads throughout the entire community, from our hires to the work that we do to the impacts that we have. And that's one of the great things about the port. Right now, because of that, I'm actually looking at establishing a position which will do that integration across all of the work that we do within the port. So that means that we have that aspect, we have that view that informs that. So how great is that, to have a public organization that looks at not just the bottom line, because we need to succeed as a port, but then we also need to make sure that we're doing it in a sustainable way for future generations. And then also, we're making sure that we spread that prosperity, not just to the communities for employment and spreading that, but also making sure that the impact is there as well. So that's our triple bottom line, and we'll continue to work on that. It's fantastic to be here this morning, and I think along the way, also working with all the communities that surround us as well. We want to have a little bit of fun, and that's what we're here to do, both a good thing and then to and also have a little bit of fun at the same time, and you couldn't ask for better weather. So thanks again for being here and for all that you're going to do, and have a great Earth Day 2018. Thank you.
There are a couple of firsts here today, and we've always had important people, especially at this site, and that's always very good to make sure that they're part of it and seeing what's going on. But this is the first time we've had a port commissioner, and this is also the first time that we've had the mayor of Seattle here. So would you all please give a big hand for Mayor Durkan?
so much for that kindness, and I think every time a speaker is here, we must remember that we're on Duwamish lands, and that everything we do, in part, is to restore the beauty of Mother Nature. Today we're cleaning up a riverway that was polluted and misused. We're cleaning up the park around it, and we're going to plant a tree. But I'm looking in front of me at the most important trees we have in Seattle, and that is our youth. Our youth. And the tree we plant is symbolic, but you, our young people, are real. You are the future of Seattle, and as we do by you, we do for the future generations. And so let us plant this tree together, but let us not make it just a one-day event or a moment in time. Let us remember every day in Seattle what we need to do to make sure that our youth have a healthy, inclusive, welcoming place in every part of this city. I'm so honored to be here at the Duwamish and to work with you all. Come on over, Carmen. Bring those youth right over here. Come on, come on. Come on. Quickly, quickly. It's too early for youth to do quickly. Hey, how are you? Come on, you guys. Scoot around. So the Duwamish Valley Youth Corps is one of the great groups. Come on in, guys. All the way through. Show off those new t-shirts. Man, all I got is my Sonic shirt. So this is an example of a wonderful way that the city can partner with community to do many things at the same time. To work with our youth who are the future, to make sure that we're dedicated to those values of a better, cleaner Seattle, to repair some of the injustice and environmental harms we've done in the past. And to always remind ourselves that for too long we have asked those who can afford it the least to bear the most of our environmental wrongs. And the real way to change that is right here. Look at these guys. They're looking good. Look at you guys. So thanks for being here. Let's just not make this a one-day thing. Let's fight for our planet, fight for our city, and fight for our youth every single day. Thank you so very much.
So another hand for Mayor Durkan, please. Just to close and to thank all the other people that are here, we want to make sure that we welcome you all as volunteers. That's very important to us because without that, we can't do it. And thank you. One of the things that we have to remember is that this river is gone through an awful lot of changes. And those changes are, first of all, changing its course, straightening it, putting dams on it so that it doesn't flood the valley, and then building industries around it. On the back of this river is where the wealth of this city was made. Now it's time to start giving back. And like a relative who might be sick, to kind of sit by them and help them. That's why we're here today, is to make sure we're able to do everything that we can. I got a couple of rules that I give to everybody. I don't think we're going to plant any plants today, but if you do ever get an opportunity to, which you will, you should give it a name. Because that gives you a connection between what you're planting. And it does hear you. All the plants here hear you. All of the little critters that are around here appreciate what goes on, even though they might run away. They really do appreciate it. And so much has happened here. This is not just an event where Steve Metruck, who's the CEO from the port, and Mayor Durkan has come out, but there has been a big change in how things are being done at the port and at the city of Seattle, and we're so thankful for that. It's not difficult to get the mayor involved in things that are going on around us, and especially here in the Duwamish Valley. And it's great because now's the time. It's time for action. The only way we can really succeed is really working together with the communities and understanding what those problems are, and then the rest of the city being able to come down here and volunteer. That is where this all starts to work together. We're empowering people we care for, and that's been impacting this site and the communities for years. We're going to continue working for our community. DRCC, that's what we do. We don't tell the community what to do. We listen to the community and we raise their voice. So today is the opportunity to have a clean river, a clean environment, and a healthy community here in the city of Seattle. So thank you all so very much for coming out today. I like to do one thing. Okay, y'all ready? Oh, come on, give me a better ready than that. Y'all ready? Yeah. All right, I say Duwamish, you say river. Duwamish. Yeah. Duwamish. Yeah. Do it one more time. I say Duwamish, you say river. Duwamish. Yeah. Duwamish. Yeah. Thank you very much. We're going to bring everybody in here because I'm going to have the stewards. What we're going to start with, what we're going to start with is that we've selected a place for the tree to be, thank you. The tree to be planted down here, no. And our stewards have selected it so it has the best opportunity of surviving.